Welcome to Cantina, Jargon.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of Cantina Jargon. My name is Joe. I'm with the channel Jar Jar Jargon. I'm joined today by Caden with Cantina Talk. We are going to be talking about Ahsoka. It starts in a few days here. We get it next Tuesday. You pretty pumped about the show?
I cannot wait. It's like mind blowing to think that it's that close away. I swear, like last week, it felt like a month away, and now it's already here.
Right. Yeah. It
And
seems
even now, a day sooner too.
right. And it was like 3 years ago when we first saw the episode in Mandalorian season 2 when Ahsoka showed up, drops the Thrawn name. We're getting hyped about it, and then of course we get the announcement. I think like a month later that there's going to be an Ahsoka show, and now it's finally here. It's the one show I've been waiting for. I'd say the longest. How about you?
Yeah, without a doubt. And I didn't realize it's now 3 years. I didn't think because Mandalorian season 2 was in 2020.
Yep. 2020. It would have been a few months from now, but yeah, 2020. Yeah.
Wow, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, 3 years. Because I remember like when it first got announced, I was like, all right, I cannot wait because now that they even set it up like.
Right.
I remember my first reaction to what I heard, like where's your master? Where's Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Yeah.
And I because Ahsoka showing up too. I didn't know, I didn't believe the leaks that Ahsoka was gonna be on the show at all.
Same.
So on top of that, like when I saw Ahsoka and it was Rosario Dawson, I was like, there's no fucking way. Like there's no way that we're getting this.
Yeah.
I know. I'm so excited.
No, me too, man. And obviously, with Thrawn coming back, I'm a huge Legends fan. As you know, we've talked about it quite a bit, offline and everything. I know you've dabbled a little bit too, but yeah, Thrawn is like probably the thing I'm most excited for in the show. As far as what we know, like is confirmed. Obviously, some others could pop up that I might even get more pumped about. Might have a Luke moment, season 2 Luke moment. But what about you? Who are you hyped to see in the show? Like, who are you looking forward to the most?
Honestly, okay, so like obviously like the main answers are like Thrawn, Ezra, Anakin, but honestly, it's gonna sound weird. Rex is there too, but honestly, just being able to see the use of Usalamari, if they're in the show at all, just that alone, be like, all right, now I'm even more pumped for Heir to the Empire, if that's still happening.
Yeah, that throws a massive wrench into the fold if there's some way to like counter the Force users. If they bring this Lamari in, that's
besides
huge.
that, like anyone could just walk into a room and Force choke Thrawn. Like there's,
right.
like
right.
there has to be some way to like basically what happened to Reva on Nur when Vader walked into the room and just Force choked her.
Right.
That's literally all that would have to happen to Thrawn at that point in time.
Yeah, and
so there has
gone.
to be something to combat. Yeah, there has to be something to combat that.
No, that's true.
I would say either use Salamari or even I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up, but either like a Kanan flashback or just mentioning Kanan in some way, shape, or form. I know Freddie Prinze said that he's done giving out favors.
Yeah,
that he's done. I don't know.
No, it's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah.
I recorded a video earlier, and I basically it's all about like what cameos we might see in the show, and I put Kanan as a very likely cameo. I think. I mean, we got Hera, we got Jason. Like, I think we're at least gonna get some sort of mention or throwback or Force vision, something. I don't think he's a Force ghost. I don't think he had the training.
Because like even like not that I mean it might be too like cliche, but even like if Ahsoka is training Jason and Jason is Force sensitive, like even just given like the line she gave to Luke, like you're so much like your father, since she knew Kanan and fought with him on Malachor.
Yeah.
Like just something like just a little nudge like that, just to, I don't know. But they have to do it right too. It can't just be like thrown in there.
Yeah.
To just be like, hey, you remember Kanan Jarrus? No, like it has to have some sort of importance.
I agree. I trust Filoni though, right? Like I think he cares about the characters a lot because he created them. So,
that's why like That's why I'm so like excited and have so much hope for the show. Like, I don't want to say my expectations are through the roof, but in a way, like they are, because not only is Ahsoka Filoni's baby, but so is all of Rebels. And with Rosario saying that this is like Rebels season 5, and with Dave being the sole writer, pretty much, I believe anyway, like I know this is going to be good. And apparently, I'm assuming there isn't much filler from what I've heard.
Yeah, from what we've heard, and for those who don't know, there was a kind of premiere globally of the episode 1 and 2 for Star Wars fans, and obviously we were not in on that, and a lot of other YouTubers were not in on that. But for the reviews that have come out, they've been very just kind of basic, and they've been very, very good so far. But a lot of them are saying that it's really getting into a story, and it has a vision from episode 1, which I know Mandalorian season 3 was kind of lacking. Like they just kind of we didn't know where it was going, and we didn't really know until like episode 7 what the main goal of the season was. But supposedly Ahsoka's giving us a vision like in episode 1, and we know where this is going. And obviously it's Thrawn and Ezra, right? Like that's the goal here.
I mean, they can't put Ezra's like sacrifice in the trailer about like everything about a Jedi and not have Ezra in the show at all.
Oh, I mean, he's in the show
with Ezra. Like at the end of Rebels, like he literally told Sabine, like, you got to come find me.
Right.
You got to see this one through to the end. So there's no way we don't see him. I'm still on the train that Merrick is Ezra. I'm sorry. It's
okay.
I was the first person to come up like to publicly, I believe.
Yeah.
Like put out that theory. So I got to stick with my gut with it, even though there is like, okay, well, how would he be here, or how would this be happening?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, for example, Balin, according to his backstory, he fled to the unknown regions and met Thrawn, but now he's back.
It's a good point.
So
yeah,
because also Thrawn might have gotten to the unknown regions and might have found a way back, but saw the state of the Empire and waited, and because Thrawn's a master strategist, he's just playing his time and biting his time right.
I mean, he could be building an army out there for all we know, right?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't want to say like episode 9 like Exegol, but like I don't know. I don't want to say like everything with the Grisk, but even like the Chiss Ascendancy could be planning on coming in and trying to take over in some way, shape, or form.
Sure.
Like, I know that one's a little bit more far fetched, but I feel like Thrawn, like if he knew that like after the Battle of Yavin, like maybe he was just lurking in the shadows to set up everything. Because obviously we saw the Shadow Collective like meeting,
and they know about Thrawn, right? So like
yeah. Like
so
they're just talking about like
he's had communication to some degree, because we know Pelion obviously was saying like, oh, Thrawn's coming back, and just wait till Thrawn comes back and gives us our our plan and all that stuff. So they you're right, they clearly know about Thrawn. They have some way of communicating with him. I'm not counting Ezra out as the Inquisitor. I'm a Star Killer believer, honestly. I'm a Sam Witwer believer. but how early? So even if the Inquisitor is Ezra, how early in the season, like what episode do you think we finally get revealed whether he's the Inquisitor, or do we just see Ezra, like not hologram? Obviously, we know the hologram was in the trailer. Like, when do you think? What's the earliest we see Ezra in the flesh? Do you think they hold that for like episode 7 and 8, or like?
I would say so. With the hologram, probably episode 1, or 2, maybe with if Ahsoka goes and gets Sabine, because apparently she might be cutting her hair in the first couple episodes. I don't know how true that is. But with that, if we're gonna see Ezra in the flesh, I believe it's gonna be Dave Filoni's second episode, which is episode 5.
Sure, yeah, that's what I think. 5.
But at the same time, I don't know, because everyone's saying that like everything we got from the trailers is from the first 2 episodes. In my mind, there is no way in hell that's possible, just because like based on the time frame and everything and how things are playing out, that is a lot to jam in to an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes of footage.
Yeah,
that's a ton of story to jam in. So I think we're going to be revisiting locations a couple times, and I think that possible. Fight in the Red Forest is going to be later on in the season, probably Dave Filoni's episode 5.
I think it's episode 4. I actually think that's confirmed, because there was a press release, and I think it had 104 in the coding or something like that of the Red Forest pictures. So, but I do think. I think the trailers are mostly episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is half the season, obviously. Yeah. And I think that Thrawn, I don't think we're going to see Thrawn in 1 through 4. So I got to imagine clip is coming from later, maybe 6 or 7 even. I don't think Thrawn shows up until later, but I think we could see Ezra in episode 4, but I like probably your guess better. Dave Filoni's episode 5 is going to be a huge one.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, that might be the episode where we see everything with the Purrgil. Because that, honestly, to me, seems like it's taking place somewhere else outside of.
Agreed.
I don't want to say outside the galaxy, but it like with that that hyperspace like that docking ring.
Yeah.
With how huge that is, and then that like 46-second clip we got, because before we only saw like the circle of it. Now we saw like the full like long scale of it. So I think that is taking place somewhere else, like which with the leaks came out like a couple months ago about the New Beyond possibly being a place.
Yeah.
I think that might be where the Purrgil are and where Sabine and Ahsoka are, because I don't know, that big of an episode I feel like is going to be episode 5 just because Dave Filoni's directing it.
The Purrgil could definitely be 5. I think that's a good point. Do you know? So the clip we got the other day, the one where they're obviously Hera's chasing that whatever hyperdrive or whatever it is that from episode 1? Do we know, or is that from 2? I gotta imagine it's from 1 or 2.
Yeah, I believe it's from. If I had to guess, it's probably from 1.
Okay.
Because I based on. If I had to guess, obviously they shoot things out of order, but that first leaked photo we got was of, because I think they were only filming like a month or 2 in at that point in time, and that was the photo of Hera and Ahsoka walking into that like command center control room.
Right.
So that being one of the first few things that they filmed, and then that entire setting being shown so much, I think that probably got done the soonest. So that's what we're gonna be seeing the soonest. Because from what Kristen Harloff, I think I'm saying that right, his review of the 2 episodes said, was that it just gets right into it. Okay. So I believe that it's just going to get right into it with Ahsoka and Hera going to there. And then I don't know what's going to happen, because we see the ring in 2 different settings. We see it over the shipyard planet, and then we see it over the Red Force planet later on.
Okay.
So I believe it's going to move around, because obviously it's a docking ring, so it's going to go wherever
they're using the ship is. It to travel. Obviously,
we haven't seen one that scale. I could be wrong, but we haven't seen one that big of scale yet in live action.
No, anyway. definitely not. Because it's that thing is going to be important in some way, and I guess we're going to find out what it is and why it's being used in episode 1. I imagine so. If that is the episode that we saw the clip from. But the other interesting thing about that is obviously Merrick in that clip. I mean, essentially they're going to jump right into who this Inquisitor is in some capacity, but it sounded like he did a grunt or something like that in the trailer, and he definitely had a voice modulator. So they're hiding whoever the voice too, which is just so it still could be female. I don't know, man. It's wild.
I don't want to seem sexist or anything, but I genuinely don't think Paul Barnell is playing a female.
I don't either. I mean, it's a male 6'1" stuntman. I don't,
And obviously Hayden Christensen isn't that tall, and when he was in the Vader suit, they had lifts and everything in his shoes,
right,
or in his boots. So that could be the case too. But it just, to me, I don't think that is Barriss. I genuinely don't think it's Barriss.
I don't think so either.
If Barriss is going to come in any way, shape, or form, I think it's going to be in some other way, if that's even still happening.
I mean, I was thinking about it. I think it makes way more sense, because we know Dave is has said in the past he wants to continue Barriss's story and stuff, and that's fine. But I think if we see that, it's going to be through Tales of the Jedi. I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
And someone commented on one of my videos the other day about Barriss that no way the Inquisitor's Barriss, because Anakin would have wanted to kill Barriss as soon as he saw her. He would have never made her an Inquisitor, because she basically ruined his apprentice's life, which is a really good point. He was very angry at Barriss in that episode when Ahsoka leaves the Order, and I think that would carry over to the Vader side of him as well. So I don't think Barriss would have been around long once the Order fell. But I think that's a Tales of the Jedi thing. I don't think that's going to be an Ahsoka thing.
And if it was to happen, I don't very well Anakin could go and kill Barriss, but at the same time, with how Anakin treated Ahsoka in Rebels on Malachor, obviously that's 10 years later.
Yeah.
But he has a thought for a second, where he's sitting there pausing and thinking, that's Ahsoka.
Right.
But then when he says, you will die and his people annihilates, I think that at that point in time, I don't know if you'd full on go and try and kill Barriss, because from the Rise of the Red Blade book,
okay,
and there they go and talk about how Palpatine went and everything he did with Anakin and manipulating with him to believe in him and everything that his cause, he went and did that to multiple other Jedi, all the Inquisitors essentially, just not as in depth and as I don't want to say like as rough as he did with Anakin, but all the like disillusioned Jedi that like kind of like Dooku in a way, how he was like, I don't really agree with that, or that should be that way. Palpatine was all pulling the strings, like literally being like a master of puppets, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that when Order 66 happened, those Jedi with those clones, they had an option where it was either you join the Empire or you will die. And obviously some declined and they died or tried to escape.
Right.
But others were like, all right, no, I believe in Palpatine. And that's how the Fortress Inquisitorius was brought all together.
Yeah, it was like established. Interesting. Okay, no, there's obviously some good context in that book. Then, I don't know. Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, if Vader doesn't really have a say overall in the Inquisitors, then I don't. Yeah, I mean, Barriss could still potentially be one. I'm just saying. I don't think it is. Obviously, I'm with you on that one. I don't think it is. So ultimately, I think we're gonna get something else there. I think you're on the Ezra train. I'm on the Sam Witwer train. I'm pretty much down to those two,
honestly,
though.
at this point.
At this point, I'm down to those two, and either one is going to be an awesome reveal because I love going into the show not knowing who a character is and like getting a potential like backstory, even for Baylan and Shin. Like, there's so much to learn about them that's going to be like really interesting and cool to do. So
even like Captain Enoch, we know literally nothing about. We know literally nothing. Haven't seen anything about him and who he's playing.
Yeah.
Or sorry, who Wes Chapman is playing,
right,
which is Captain Enoch. Which again, that's probably another like fake name, like how Merrick literally translates to a knight. Wait, a wolf that's thought to be a knight or something like that.
Yeah, it's like a werewolf or something, right? That was a knight or a fallen knight or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like so his character, I believe, is going to be like the Captain Enoch like casting name. I believe is totally fake. It's going to be some big reveal of who he is.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not Pelion, so we can instantly eliminate that because it's Xander Berkeley.
Aren't there rumors that this Captain Enoch is like force sensitive though?
I haven't.
I thought there was a rumor like that. I might honestly just be getting my rumors confused, but so we don't know anything about him. So he could be anything.
As far as I know, anyway.
I mean, it could be like another dark force user. I don't know.
Because I thought I saw something on TikTok. It was said something that like he's like this like Imperial captain that's force sensitive that has like an army of undead or like dead stormtroopers that are brought back alive and something. And it just
sounds cool.
It went way too like fan fiction-y though for like it to be believable. So I was just like, all right, that's cool if it happens, great. But at the same time, like I'm taking that with more. I'm more leaning towards Ezra being the Inquisitor than that being a possibility.
Yeah,
just because
I'm gonna have
seemed
to
like so
also,
out there,
obviously. So, yeah, interesting. Well, I mean, the next few weeks, like we're gonna have so much to discuss, obviously, because we're gonna learn so much more about what our characters are doing, who these other new characters are, and what their motives are. Like I said, even with like Baylan and Shin, I think there's just so much to learn there about. I mean, what we know about Baylan is he survived Order 66, but we don't know anything about Shin in terms of like, did he find her later on? Because she seems too young to have come, pre-Clone War era, basically. So I think maybe he found her in the unknown regions or something. That's an interesting thing as well.
Like with her age, because I know like the actress I believe is in her late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah,
that
I looked it up. She's like
translate.
27, I think.
Yeah. So with that, like, maybe she could be, like, maybe it was Baylan's like youngling. But at the same time, those aren't usually given to Jedi right away. Like,
oh yeah, no, like, she would have been like a baby.
She would have. Yeah, she would have been like almost like Reva's age, but probably like a little bit younger than Reva. But younglings weren't given to Jedi; like they were trained by Yoda, and then when they became Padawans is when they were given away.
Could be his child.
Age. That could be the case too. That could explain the trailer when he looks way more pissed off when the body's laying there.
Oof,
like, cause, I don't know.
That's a good point.
Because before, like he's literally toying with Ahsoka, where he's just stepping out of the way with Sarisu. Like he's just backing up, like letting her just take full baseball bat swings. He's definitely playing a mind game with Ahsoka, just like how Maul did with everybody else as well.
Yeah, he's very defensive in the initial shots. But yeah, you're right. The baseball bat swing
Yeah,
Shin laying on the ground. Oof, that's
it.
oof.
It genuinely could be my eyes, but his blade looked way more redder. I don't want to say redder, but it looked darker.
Yeah,
and it honestly could just be inconsistencies, like Dave said. Like sometimes it was red, sometimes it was orange. But maybe he fully gave in at that point in time if Shin's actually dead, because the dome is also no longer activated. Maybe Ahsoka destroyed the entire like podium where the star map was on, the star, like the projection of it and everything.
Yeah,
maybe
so the
she
projection was gone. That's a good point too. There's a lot going on in that Red Forest, man. Yeah. That is going to be like, I think, one of the best like episodes in terms of just.
I'm curious to what planet it is, because a lot of people are saying Corvus, and it does not look like Corvus
at all.
That's
not Corvus.
No unless it's like the other side of the planet that we haven't seen, but that just seems
that
like
hasn't
way too
been like torched. Yeah, maybe. I guess that's
but
possible.
People are saying like, oh, because it's the guards from the magistrate's town and the droids. I believe those are just guns for hire. That she's giving them to Baylan, she's giving them to Merrick.
They're 7th Fleet droids. They're literally Thrawn's droids. They're not only there though; they're on that docking area too. You know, fighting.
So and as I'm saying, like I believe, like, because Morgan Elsbeth definitely has a ton of them. I believe she's just like, all right, Baylan, you take this amount, Shin this amount, Merrick have these ones.
Yeah,
like they're definitely just guns for hire. Like at least like I don't want to say the human, because they could not be human, but the actual like living ones that aren't the droids, like the people with the gas masks that are from Corvus.
Yeah,
those ones definitely I think are guns for hire. The droids definitely Thrawn's.
Yeah,
she definitely has a bunch of them at her.
The sigil on the side, the 7th Fleet sigil. So they're definitely Thrawn's.
She definitely has enough where she can just throw them around to whoever they need, or whoever that needs them, that she can just give them to them.
Yeah, so, it clearly, I mean, what it really is they need something that's not human that Ahsoka can constantly cut down in the show without it being too like gory or whatever. So we get droids. Yeah, we get humanoid droids instead, which I don't know. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't think they're gonna be any kind of challenge for her though, as we saw even in the clip they showed. It just cuts that one down so fast.
I don't think they're remotely as good as the Magna Guards that Grievous had.
Oh yeah,
not even like in the same ballpark. Like I don't know.
Similar weapons though. It seemed they're holding the same kind of weapon. Yeah.
It also could be though like those same like staffs that the Trandoshans were using on. No, it wasn't Trandoshans. On Book of Boba Fett, he got.
Those were the. He
got like prodded with it, like the cattle. It was like a cattle prod almost.
Yeah, that was like a. I forget what they called that group. I don't know. The wind, something of the wind.
I'm gonna look it up real quick. Hang on.
Yeah, it's like, gosh, it's something wind though. I don't really. Shadow wind. But yeah, you make a good point. They use the same kind of weapon too. It's like got some sort of electrification on the end of it. I think it's supposed to penetrate armor in that way. The interesting thing I noticed in the clip though is it also can stop a lightsaber. I guess maybe the energy that's coming out of it can stop a lightsaber.
I mean, technically, like the Magna Guards ones could too.
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
but I mean, at the same time, like I'm kind of like thinking like the Old Republic, like the training sabers, because those could stop a regular saber, or even like the training staffs that technically weren't a lightsaber. But obviously, that's Old Republic, so it doesn't. Well, it doesn't translate over.
Old Republic, I mean, is hardly canon at this point because of them wiping out all the EU. So I don't know. I really hope the Old Republic comes back at some point, but and they.
I do too.
Yeah. That's another topic for another day, if I'm being honest. So we can talk about the Old Republic for hours.
I was like, I'm just replaying it, so I was like thinking like, oh yeah, because in Old Republic, like, and I saw in a video too, just morning actually, that like Dave Filoni was talking about like everything with him bringing Revan in the Clone Wars. He said that they got down to already shooting the scene. Everything was done except the animation for it. They already had Revan and Bane all in the Clone Wars like armor and everything, like for the last episode of the Mortis arc, and last minute George was like, I don't want to put this in here anymore.
It
was just like I don't know, it looks this concept art looks so good for it too.
Supposedly they were going to do like a Yuzan Vong arc too. Like there was concept art with like a scout ship that was coming out, like that I would kill for that. That's so awesome. I looked it up though, by the way. It's like the Order of the Night Wind.
Order of the Night Wind?
Yeah. Nightwind assassins served the Order of the Nightwind during the New Republic era, and Wikipedia. So I knew it was wind something. Yeah. So whatever. I don't think they're going to be any kind of challenge for Boba going forward. I think he kind of.
I mean, he's going to Rancor at disposable, like
right.
So I mean,
I can't wait to see him again. I know it's not going to be in this show, but my God, I can't wait to see him again. I love Tamara Morrison as Boba Fett. He's awesome.
I can't wait to hear the end, like at the end of each episode, the like Boba intro, but we're just hearing like the constantly playing like.
I loved that.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why that was just like I don't want to say it was something like special, but I was like my biggest takeaway is like just the ending.
Oh yeah, song. Every time it's
just like
so
special.
End. Yeah, oh, that was a great time. People, we talk about this all the time, I guess, but people hate on Book of Boba Fett so much, and I think if they didn't have the Scooter Gang and Robert Rodriguez wasn't at the helm of like 3 episodes, I think it would be a lot more fondly looked upon. I mean, that Cad Bane Luke episode is one of the best Star Wars episodes ever.
Ahsoka talking to Luke and seeing Luke's temple literally made me sob like a fucking baby, and I totally will own it. Like that was something so special that I'm so glad that we got that. I just I don't know how Robert Rodriguez can go from having arguably minus the if we take the Luke episode totally out of season 2, of Mando, having the best episode in my opinion of this entire season, to just I don't even know. I don't know how that happens.
I mean, I almost think they gave Boba too much action in that Mando episode to where when he eventually had helm of the show, they just couldn't do that. They couldn't replicate it again. I mean, they kind of did with the Rancor thing, but it just wasn't. Man, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. We wanted more. We wanted more badass Boba, and we didn't get it. So
and with Tamara literally saying why am I talking this much?
Yeah, I know.
If he knows if he knows something seems off, it's not just him.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked it for what it was, because honestly, I would never have expected in a million years when I got a Boba Fett show. I love that we got a Boba Fett show, and I love what we have, because I love even though I don't agree with the sequels, I still love it because it's Star Wars. I'm not gonna go and watch it every single Friday night. But
I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever gonna watch Last Jedi again, to be honest. But hey, agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But Boba, though, I've watched it several times. I just watched the freaking Luke episode the other night. I mean, I had to prepare myself. That was the last time we saw Ahsoka in live action, so I had to watch that as a nice gear up to the show.
When I was making my Luke Jedi Academy video, I literally went back and watched that. I just kind of fly in my hand. I just watched that entire episode. I think it was the 2 episodes, the Mando one, and then the Luke one right after, back to back. And I was like, why was this so good, and why wasn't this this continued?
Right.
On its own story, I don't know,
it was
fucking Jedi Academy, make it live action. I don't know.
I still want a Jedi Academy show, and maybe who knows? After this Heir to the Empire thing is over, maybe that's one of the plans. I mean, there's still a lot of time, to cover that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you think about it, once the Heir to the Empire movie wraps, Ben should be what? I mean, he should be
because if it's already
7, 8 years old, maybe 9 even. We don't know how many years are really passing, I guess, but he's 4, right? So in 9 ABY, I think is when Mandalorian starts, or is it 10?
So yeah, so I just looked it up. So Ahsoka is taking place around 9 to 12 ABY in that time frame.
Okay, and so, Ben was born on 5 ABY.
Yeah. I thought he was conceived right after the Battle of Endor. I could be wrong.
Yeah, would that be 5 ABY?
Yeah.
Then?
What am I talking about?
ABY is Yavin.
Yeah. What am I talking about?
So,
I don't know. Yeah.
So, well, if it's 12 ABY, I mean, let's even say it's 11 and be conservative here. Then I think he's 6 now. By the time the movie wraps, they could say it's a few years in the future. He could be 8 or 9, and that would be great time to throw him into a show with Luke, Jedi Academy show. We know that they can make Luke essentially whatever age they want now because of the technology.
Yeah, and they don't need Mark Hamill to do the voice, because they can just synthesize it with AI like they have.
Yeah, and the AI voices are getting better and better like every day. People are like, I don't know if you've heard, but like people do like AI songs with like different like artists and stuff now. Like
Really?
it's crazy. So I think the next time we see Luke, which could be in this show, the Ahsoka show, and I'm hoping it's like you've mentioned at the end of the series, or maybe even before she goes out to the New Beyond, she maybe asks him for help. I hope we see him, and I think the next time we do see him, it's going to be even a bigger improvement from when we went from like season 2 to Book of Boba Fett. I think it's even. I mean, you got to think about that's been
that
like 2 years now.
Yeah, that and that was only because they had been working on it from when they finished Mando season 1.
Right.
So, and just in that year, that was like a huge difference in that just small amount of time. And with everything, all the AI progression since then, it's. I mean, I love it, but I'm still holding out for Sebastian Stan just coming in and playing.
I mean, if it came down to it, I would prefer the recast, definitely.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're interested in that, according to what KK said. You know.
Yeah, and like, again, how do you make Heir to the Empire without Luke, Han, and Leia?
Yeah, Han and Leia got to show up at some point, right? And
it's just
I think that. Taking it back to Ahsoka real quick, I don't think we see Han at all, but I think we do see Leia, or at least get a Leia mention. We already see Mon Mothma. We see other senators in the trailer. Why would they not mention Leia? I mean, she is like a key representative of the New Republic at this point. We know that the New Republic is going to play a big role in the show, and Hera's going to be asking them for help and whatnot. So, like, Leia should probably be in on those discussions, I would think. It'd be wild if she didn't even get mentioned.
Well, yeah, and with Mando season 3 too, they even went into more of the politics too, with how, they like went to Coruscant and asked for help and they got rejected.
Yeah, right. We're starting to get there. So yeah, I think they slowly probably introduce us to the core three, and they got to be in the movie. They have to be. There's no way they're not.
Yeah,
they're not going to make a movie in this era without those three.
And and with the reports of Eldon Ehrenreich coming back, too, like if they're gonna use AI over his face or whatever they're gonna do, because I don't know if you saw the new Indiana Jones, but the deep faking in the new Indiana Jones was like I couldn't even tell. Like it looked so good. It
looked really good. The only thing that was off was like the voice, obviously, because it was literally like old Harrison Ford voice, which is okay. Hey, if Harrison wants to do that, give it to me. I don't care. That'll work, you know, because it looked great. So just give us something like that. That would be that'd be ideal. So I mean, the whole Heir to the Empire thing, we've talked about it a lot at length, and I think we know what we want to see, and I hope Dave Filoni knows what the fans want to see. I think he does, though. I trust him 100%. Obviously Ahsoka's going to tell us a lot about where things are headed, and how Dave can do like on his own with his own vision, which is going to be huge for us. Like, and outside of animation, obviously, he's already killed it in animation.
Yeah, and if too, like if KK being KK, if even with Ahsoka not being out yet, if her already being like, all right, yeah, let's give Dave a movie, just by that alone, I think she definitely, I don't want to say she has faith in him, but she's also like, okay, like he can handle his own when it comes to this.
Yeah, I think she trusts him. She should, because he's absolutely.
I mean,
I mean, he's changed the way like we perceive Disney Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like for the better. I mean, Clone Wars season 7, Rebels. Even his involvement in Mando.
Bad Batch too.
Bad Batch.
Bad Batch season 2
has been incredible. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
It's just like. And with Ahsoka supposed to be getting a second season as well. So, what I think is going to happen with Ahsoka, it's almost like a stepping stone to Heir. It's going to end off on a cliffhanger, and it's going to lead right into the Heir to the Empire movie. It almost has to, because they're leaving their breadcrumbs all the way from Mando season 2 to Book of Boba Fett, now to this, and now with Dave getting a movie, they're going to set up in a cliffhanger where they're going for Thrawn.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be like with Infinity War, where the bad guys win at the end. Which, I mean, I kind of like to see, but
me too.
They're like, that's why I put in the video at the end of this, the Luke video, where Ahsoka's going to ask Luke for help because they lost and they need him.
Yeah,
they need Luke Skywalker because there's no way they're gonna do it without him.
That's ideal for me.
That's like,
yeah.
They're gonna lose. People are gonna be lost. And there's gonna be a lot of emotions shared. But I believe Heir will, if Dave Filoni is doing Heir to the Empire, it's gonna end the same way with Thrawn losing. Obviously, Rook is dead, so that's why. Like, I also want to go back to like the Ezra thing real quick. If Ezra is the Inquisitor and if Ezra doesn't come back to the light in Ahsoka and he's still the Inquisitor, Ezra could be even playing that like Rook, the Rook spot with where, like, killing Thrawn,
like turning on Thrawn eventually.
Yeah, like,
it's gonna take time, and that'll be in the movie probably. In that case, I like that idea a lot, obviously, because I don't think the Nogri plot line of Heir to the Empire is gonna be worked in at all. Like, I don't like Rook's gone, and we're not gonna have, even if we have Leia, we're not gonna have her in the capacity of that we did in the books, where she's like going to this other planet and, you know, trying to mediate with the Nogri people and make them understand the Empire's turned on them and all this stuff. I mean, that's just way too much for like a deep fake character or something like that. So I don't think
also
that's gonna happen.
For a 2.5-hour movie.
Not enough time.
I don't want them to cram so much into where it's like, all right, here.
Yeah.
Heir to the Empire is a giant story, the 3 trilogy as a whole. I would like them to at least take their time. Don't rush it.
I agree.
Very methodically, like, figure it out, what is gonna, like, plan it out. Don't do what they did with the sequels and just freeball it.
Yeah.
Write it out and plan it out how you're gonna do it. With Dave's movie, it might just be all the first book. And it might set it up for a sequel if the movie does good. I'm like, all right, because they have Rey's movie coming up beforehand. So if Rey's movie bombs, they're going to have Dave's movie come after. And if Dave's movie does good, I'm like, all right, we're going with that. Continuing with that.
Yeah. I think that's a
Dave's
good
movie,
point.
Because if Dave's movie comes out beforehand, no one's going to go see the Rey movie.
Right. No, I probably wouldn't, honestly. I'm probably just going to be like, I'm more interested in what Dave's doing, you know, and I'm more interested in this Mando era timeline. But you make a good point about like the 3 books, it's too much for one movie. So like, if it has to almost be made in a way, if they're going to do 3 movies, like it almost has to be made in a way where there is some sort of cliffhanger, possible continuation at the end of Dave's movie even. But, or we've heard that Mando season 4 is happening. We've heard there's going to be a season 2 of Ahsoka. If we get this cliffhanger of like, oh, the bad guys won in Ahsoka season 1, then maybe Mando season 4 and Ahsoka season 2 kind of are the book 1 and 2 of Heir to the Empire. And then the movie is kind of the last command, you know, and that's where we see Thrawn get defeated, which could work as well. That would give time for things to develop a lot.
I mean, I would love that to happen too, but at the same time, like, everything with Bo-Katan and Mandalore, there has to be more there. Like, we saw the Mythosaur. I know that, I think Jon Favreau said that, like, there is no intention for it to actually come out and be in live action, minus that little, like, nod. But I thought we were going to see, like, the Battle of Mandalore. Which we kind of did, but
yeah, I mean, we did. Like, episode 8.
Like, which, like,
I would think.
Yeah, it was great, but I'm saying, like, I thought there's going to be more to it of, like, Bo-Katan and getting Mandalore going to other colonies and getting those Mandalorians back.
Yeah, they still got to like rebuild it, right?
Yeah. And so I think Bo's gonna be so busy with that she might not have time to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
And with Mando seeming like it was, because I know that they said that it's gonna be back to a show again. It's gonna be season 4. It's not gonna be a movie.
Yeah,
anymore.
Now they're saying it's a show again. That's what we're hearing. So,
but I don't know. I'm just so scared after season 3 of like where they're gonna take it, because they kind of just left it off as like, oh, okay, everything's all safe now. Goodbye.
I mean, like, the rumors are that Boba's back, and here's the thing: we know that he's working for the New Republic now, right? Because he went to them at the end of episode 8 or the finale of season 3, and he said, you know, hey, I want safer work, the ones that we can choose the bounties, blah blah blah. These bounties are definitely going to be on those Empire warlords that we saw in the Shadow Council. So I think season 4 there is some sort of vision there, especially once Thrawn comes back and there's that threat of Thrawn. They're going to have a problem on their hands with the Empire, and I think he is going to go against the Empire in season 4. But you're right, there's some sort of unfinished business on Mandalore. They haven't even rebuilt it. Like there's stuff that has to happen there.
They're just at the stepping stones.
Right.
I feel like there's gonna be so much like, it's like, what about Concord Dawn?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't.
Or even Concordia.
Yeah, we didn't see the moon at all. Yeah.
So there's so many things that could also go into that too. And I forgot about all that with Mando at the end of season 3, of where he was talking to the New Republic officer.
Yeah.
And with that too, that would make so much more sense. Yeah. And with that, like, what if Mando, when the bounties is on Pelion? Because obviously the remnants in the Empire, so they're all going to be wanted by the New Republic.
I want to see that now. No, but he's getting Boba, and he's getting Boba kind of looped in on that too. We know that Boba is going to be in season 4. That's pretty much confirmed. So
and with it too, with Boba taking over Mos Eisley, not Mos Eisley, but was it
Mos Pelgo? No, Mos Pelgo's the other one. Mos Espa's the Mos Espa.
Yeah, Espa.
Well, I mean, he's basically taken over Tatooine as a whole. I mean, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, so I think with him doing that and like kind of like ridding like the crime of it, I know he's like the new like daimyo, but I think he's gonna go to the New Republic and be like, look, I'm trying to liberate Tatooine, kind of like what they kind of did with Mandalore in a way, but like kind of like where he's like, all right, Tatooine is now going to start changing. If that's the way that they want to go with it, with Boba being more like diplomatic, all right, great. But that's also going to be like, yeah, I am too.
I don't think he gets the New Republic involved, though. You think he wants the New Republic? Like, I don't think he wants anyone to govern Tatooine. I think he wants to rule Tatooine, but just like
saying like keep the New Republic in the knowing of, like, hey, like, just so you know, like, I'm getting these people out of Tatooine, and I want to like kind of like how the Hutts had like the Hutt area of the galaxy.
Yeah, Hutt space. Sure.
Yeah. So I think Boba might be trying to do that as well, because we saw the Hutts in Book of Boba Fett.
Oh yeah, like to see them again. That's unfinished business.
Like, why would they just show them for a split second and drive them away?
Yeah,
they're gonna be coming back. There's no way.
I think so. You know what I'd like to see? Go ahead.
Crimson Dawn.
Actually, no. I think I'm fine with seeing Crimson Dawn, but what I want to see is, so in the original novel era of the Empire, Han goes to Tatooine because he's like, now that Jabba's gone, like, who's leading like the underworld? Like, who are my go-to guys? Because he needs smugglers. The New Republic needs smugglers because they need people to actually transport cargo to all these new planets, and they're willing to hire smugglers to do it because they can't find anyone else. Why doesn't Han show up on Tatooine and say, look, Boba, like, we had our differences, blah, blah, but I know you're like kind of the new guy around here. Why don't you clean up Hutt space and get us we'll give you respectable work with the New Republic, like running cargo for us.
That would work too, because like,
that'd be sick.
Yeah, they have history, but at the same time, like, even in Jedi Survivor, Boba said, like we said, basically saying like, it's nothing personal, it's just business.
Yeah, and he said that in Legends, and I think it was the New Jedi Order, one of the books. Obviously, there's like 18, but he did see Han, and he told him like you were always just like a job. It was just business.
And that's why, like, I'm so excited for Outlaws too, because Boba's gonna have to make an appearance.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If they put him in Survivor as just like a one-off, like, he's gonna make an appearance in Outlaws.
Yeah, Jabba is in Outlaws, so we know.
Yeah, they literally show Han in the carbonite.
Yeah,
like, so yeah, but no, because that would be great though, like with that happening, like with Han like going to Boba and saying that too, because Boba obviously doesn't like the Hutts. Right. Why would they put the Hutts to the episode just to bring him a Rancor? I think that they would. They wouldn't have spent all the money in the CGI just for a little cameo. I think they're setting something up with that being like a storyline, a side storyline.
I think that'd be a good, like, I think it'd be an awesome story if Boba was tasked with like clearing Hutt space out, taking them all down, clearing out, Hutt space and taking over like those hyperspace lanes. I think that could be big, and it would be sick to see him taking on all the Hutts.
Very profitable for Boba, his Empire in general.
Yeah, and like it'd be like respectable work like he wants. I don't think he wants to be running spice or doing crime. Obviously he wants bounty hunters to have like non-dangerous work, basically, where they can get paid similar rates because they're, like you said, they're
he wants to unionize the bounty hunters guild.
Basically.
Essentially, you're like, yeah, pretty much.
He's like a politician now or something. Yeah.
And we saw, correct me if I'm wrong, we saw Nal Hutta in the Clone Wars where Darth Maul went there and with Embo and Merrick, the old Merrick anyway.
Yeah.
And the bounty hunters with the Savage Opress. So it's not like we haven't seen it before.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm kind of spitballing, but at the same time, I'm like, this all sounds so cool, and I really want to see it.
I know. There's so many things that they can do, and I just hope they figure out, something and make it really cool, because Book of Boba Fett there were some great episodes. Like I've said, I enjoyed the show actually. I've been one of the people who have always said like I think the show is better than people give it credit for. But that being said, like we didn't see Boba himself take on enough in that show, and that's what I want to see. I want to see him take on more and kind of lead the show a little more.
Like I would have loved to see more of like Boba in not like Boba in action because I want to be like, oh my god, like, I want to see him shooting and killing people at the same time.
Right.
That's Boba. That's who Boba is. There's a reason why he's got the reputation of being a ruthless bounty hunter because Boba is quite frankly a badass across the galaxy.
Yeah.
We didn't see so much of Boba showing the fear that people have for him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like I wanted to see more of like Boba. Actually, that doesn't even sound right. Like
old
Boba
school
being
Boba,
how like I still like I'm all for Boba going old and being like, all right, I don't want to keep living this life of crime because it's like crime doesn't pay.
Right.
Why not? Like, I totally get that. I understand it. But it seems like he would like make Fennec go do something or make the speed bike gang go do something.
Yeah.
He would never like get his hands dirty. Besides when Cad Bane showed up.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Oh yeah.
Having Cad Bane there, that was so cool seeing Cad Bane
fight. Yep.
And and Cad Bane's like I think with the Duros with his age, he's like an elder, like where
he's like an old man,
a really high ranking position within the race alone because they don't normally live that long.
Right.
Because I think he's like 78 or 9, if I believe, if my math's right, from the time.
And I think their average was like 70. Like that was so like he's kind of the high end for them or something like that.
Yeah, and for him to still be as fast as he is, as old as he is, and still doing work for hire, and at the same time, he's still alive. There's no way he's not alive.
I honestly hope he's not. I hope they stop bringing characters back from the dead, and because they do it a lot. So
I bring him back and then kill him off right away. Yeah.
I know, right? Like I kind of hope he's dead, and it's awesome for Boba to have that that finality with like, okay, he's ended Cad Bane finally, but I'm with you. I probably think he's alive because of the beeping on the chest and all that.
Yeah,
stuff,
the beeping. So. We didn't see his droid. Also, that breath at the end too. Like it didn't seem like he was like him, like like I can't breathe, like I'm passing out. It seemed like he was like taking like a breath of fresh air. Almost. Yeah, it's in a way.
You're probably right. I mean, I think he's probably alive, but I just don't really want him to be. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's the same thing with like how people are saying like that Moff Gideon that died could have been a clone, which is very well possible, but at the same time,
just
like
Moff
just
needs
stop.
to be dead. It's been 3 seasons. Like he needs to be gone.
Let bygones be bygones. Yeah. And he showed up in the last 2 episodes as the villain.
Right. He wasn't even in the rest of the season. So no, I think Giancarlo Esposito's probably plenty busy anyway, so what are they gonna do? So speaking of deaths, let's cover this then. So Ahsoka season 1, do you think there's any like key character deaths? Do you think anyone of importance, maybe from the Ghost crew or you name it, does anyone die?
Sabine.
Seen that theory a lot especially with the cutting of the hair, very symbolic. Just like Kanan.
I'm not even gonna say because of that. And so in the Red Forest, we saw in the BTS footage, Ahsoka looks mortified.
She does. But that could be because of the Merrick reveal. Being
that
Ezra.
Could be too, but when she's talking to Merrick, she does not have her poncho on, and she almost looks like she's sitting like this. But she's like I've heard rumors about Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire. She's definitely sitting there talking to someone.
Yeah.
But when we see her, like she's like, and she still has her poncho on. So and we know that her and Merrick are fighting at the same time as Sabine and Shin. And with that too, Sabine's helmet is already off, and Ahsoka was wearing her poncho during the entire fight that we've seen eclipse wise of. So with that, I think Shin might kill Sabine.
Wow, and then Ahsoka kills Shin, obviously, in retaliation.
And that's what cues Balin up to, and maybe Shin gets immobilized during the fight with Ahsoka, and Ahsoka doesn't kill her. And then while Balin and Ahsoka are fighting, Shin comes in and Ahsoka kills Shin.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a possibility.
Why would her body be there if Sabine won? Why would it be there?
Over by where she's fighting Ahsoka.
Yeah, why would it not still be in the forest?
No, that's a
or
good
if
point.
She escaped, like with my theory of with her being the new Mara Jade and fleeing and going somewhere and working for Talon Card. Why would her body be in the dome when the dome was? We've only seen her and Baylan there.
Right.
And we haven't seen Sabine, because my theory originally was that Merrick gets unmasked there and Sabine takes him back to Ahsoka's ship. But why would Shin? How would Shin still be left alive if that was the case?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, it's
just there's so many things like what is going on?
I know there's a lot to unpack there, but you might be right. I think if any of like the core Ghost Crew characters are going to die, I do think it's Sabine. I got to agree with you there. I think she's the most likely candidate, which sucks. I like Sabine a lot. Yeah. But I think my personal opinion of which character they're going to kill off is Rex. I think we're going to see Rex for sure.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. No,
Rex should be
1,000%
old, right?
He's probably pushing like 80, 85.
Right, like in Clone Years. And I think this is his chance to like sacrifice himself for Ahsoka, in some way. And I think, because I wouldn't doubt if Rex is in that Red Forest too, and we just don't know it yet.
And because, like, I think if Rex does die, it's going to be some way like how 99 died. He's trying to save everyone, and Rex is like almost like in A Quiet Place when John Krasinski dies.
Yeah, right.
Like he's sacrificing himself so that Ahsoka or Sabine.
Many, yeah.
It just came to me. Ahsoka in the Red Forest. She's watching Rex die. That's why she looks mortified. Merrick probably captures Rex and kills, like how the governor did to Maggie's dad in The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Marshall.
Haven't seen The Walking Dead.
Okay, so in The Walking Dead, there's this guy. Basically, he grabs one of the main character's father and beheads them in front of them and makes his daughter watch him get beheaded.
Oh, it's like a Satine and Obi-Wan moment, kind of.
Yeah.
When Maul,
so with that, she could be seeing Merrick kill Rex, which would even suck even more if Merrick is Ezra, because Ezra doesn't know he's killing Rex.
Yeah. I think that'd be cool if Rex is in that Red Forest. I think we definitely see Rex. Like I'm like 99.9% sure we're gonna see Rex. Tamara Morrison can't keep a secret to save his life, and
him showing up as a 501st Trooper and Kenobi.
Yeah,
come on.
Right. And he voiced all the clones in season 3 of Mandalorian too. So
and also in Jedi Survivor he voiced Boba.
Yeah, he's around. He's hanging out, and he's going to be in the show, I think.
And I think Baylan is going to end up dying. Obviously,
I think too. And
with Ray Stevenson being gone, I think out of respect for him, they wouldn't bring him back unless they already filmed scenes. But I think like how I said previously that like Baylan is going to be that final boss fight. I believe Baylan will lose.
I think so. I think Baylan dies for sure.
Yeah.
I think that only makes sense. So I think Baylan dies, but I think the crew, as we know it, our heroes are going to lose someone as well, and that could be Sabine, that could be Rex. It's not Ahsoka. It's not going to be Hera because Jason needs his mother.
Yeah, obviously. I think Hera's got plot armor. Honestly, with that,
I do too. Yeah, with the kid.
And there's no way Ahsoka's going to die either. Plot armor.
Oh yeah, no, that's Filoni's it's Filoni's baby.
It's Filoni's baby, and season 2. So like it's like it'd be like killing Mando.
Right.
Because I know Jon Favreau said that like the Mandalorian is no longer just about Din and Grogu. It's about all of Mandalorians, like Bo-Katan, for example. I don't think Ahsoka's gonna die either.
Yeah.
But I would say Sabine, Chopper.
Yeah.
Could be.
Ooh. Chopper could be put back together though.
But definitely Rex and definitely Sabine.
Yeah, those are my two top candidates for sure. I think
Huyang
sliced
I think
in
is
half.
gonna get
I could see that happening.
R.I.P.
Yeah. All right, so I know we probably, we're about an hour here. We should probably wrap soon, but I do want to ask you a couple questions too. I'm just curious to know. So, I asked this to Star Wars Sith the other day about dream cameos. So I want your realistic dream cameo Like, who do you think is gonna show up and like that you'd be super excited about in your unrealistic dream cameo? You don't have to include Anakin because we know he's in the show already.
Yeah.
So give it to me.
Dream cameo. Honestly,
realistic and unrealistic.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna do realistic first. I'm gonna say Luke at the end.
Okay.
Unrealistic. I'm gonna say Kanan as a Force ghost or a flashback of Kanan and Ahsoka in some way, shape, or form.
Cool. I like it.
I also had a similar question for you with that, but it wasn't for a cameo. But I'll leave that for when it's my turn to ask questions.
Okay. Well, yeah, you want to know mine? Mine's Rex is the realistic one.
Yeah.
I just want to see live action Rex, and I want to see Tamara. I mean, Luke. I'm not gonna be mad about Luke. Let me tell you that much.
No, I can never get enough of Luke.
Yeah, we've seen him. My unrealistic is probably a Talon Card or Mara Jade, like a real Heir to the Empire character in some capacity. I don't know how they would even work that in. Maybe, Mara Jade via the Inquisitor, maybe Talon Card via some sort of New Republic tie-in.
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be sick, but that's not going to happen.
I just kind of got an idea, with the Mara Jade, if Mara Jade does come in.
Mm-hmm.
What if something happens and Luke is there and he gets like a vision and it's of the Jabba's barge?
Ooh, I want to see that whole.
That'd be one way to
out.
Introduce the character. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
Because then they'll set up
sick.
Luke's journey. Like if Luke tries to go and find Mara, as a new way to tie in Mara Jade into the story.
I like it.
Because how Luke, when Luke saw himself as Vader,
he went after Vader.
Yeah. On Dagobah, history does rewrite itself.
Right. No, the whole
Especially
Star Wars thing was on Dagobah, but we might see something like that. I don't know. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But all right, what's your questions? Let's hear what you got.
Okay, so I got around 5 or 6 of mine.
All right.
I'm gonna go with the first one though, which is how many times are we gonna see Hayden? Do you think? And are we gonna see him in the Clone Wars full get up, the armor and everything?
Oof. I think
with the red and black, I want to say it's like a dress, but like the kilt almost.
Okay, I think his episodes are going to be pretty limited. I think we see him in either 1 or 2 episodes. One time is going to be probably a hologram, is what I'm assuming. Yeah. I think what we heard in the trailer is some sort of training hologram that I remember she had the thing in Rebels. I think
I was just about to say, Rebels when Ezra.
And I think he's in the Clone Wars get up during that training hologram. So I do think we see him in that, but I think she's going to in my prediction is episode 5, because that's the Dave Filoni episode that we know is coming later in the season. I think he's going to be a Force ghost and he's going to guide her in some way. So I think we're going to get, Anakin as the Force ghost talking to her, actually having conversation.
At the minimum, if we don't get a Force ghost, how Ben Kenobi was talking to Luke in episode, I think it was episode 6, or maybe it was Empire, where Ben didn't show up but was talking to him through the Force.
Oh, that was A New Hope. Remember, after he died, he was talking to him to he's like, go Luke, to get back on the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
And then he's telling him when he's doing the trench run, to use the Force. So I could see that, but that would be disappointing to say the least.
Yeah, I'm saying that's at the least
yes, bare minimum that's happening. But I think the training sequence that sounds like it's from the Clone Wars, because he's doing the whole thing about in this battle you're going to face more than droids, blah, blah. That's at least a hologram that she has.
We do know, when he says, you can do this, Ahsoka, I have faith in you. That's new.
That sounds
has
newer.
To be new.
That sounds newer.
So
sure.
that's what I'm thinking is the Force ghost, at least. Because it's obviously, I don't know. For me, I could really hear the Canadian accent when he says
really?
And there's a couple words I could really hear it, and Hayden tried to get rid of it for the Clone Wars, for the prequels.
Yeah.
And now with him being older, and obviously the Force, I know that the Force ghost ages, but Hayden ages. And with that, I just think because it's more darker, it's more raspier.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's gonna be the Force ghost talking now.
I think you're right. I think that is definitely Force ghost Hayden. So yeah, that should be. Man, I'm looking forward to it a bunch. But yeah, we're gonna have episode 1 and 2 here in a few days. It's gonna be incredible. But yeah, man, I'm super excited. All right, you got any more questions or?
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
So, sorry, we already talked about a couple of these.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've already like he just kind of flows,
So, do you actually think the Inquisitor is going to be Starkiller, or do you think it's literally just a nobody being Merrick, this new person?
I
that
think
we don't know anything about. Like, do you think it's really just nobody, or if it's actually like going to be someone that we know?
I think at bare minimum, I really think it's Sam Witwer. So I'm not saying Starkiller because if an Inquisitor is Sam Witwer, like it's not automatically this is Starkiller. I think it's Sam Witwer though.
And like how like Starkiller was supposed to be in Rebels as an Inquisitor, but wasn't Starkiller. It was just Sam Witwer.
Right. I think it's Sam Witwer. That's what I think.
And then the last one, what was like my dream question would be, what would your dream fan cast be for a Star Wars movie or a show? And the show could be a total like dream fan cast as well. And you can't say Heir to the Empire.
Can't say Heir to the Empire. Oh my gosh!
Like your dream storyline with your dream like cast, like for like top 3 people, for example.
Okay, I definitely. I mean, we talked about this a little bit, but like, mine is still the Luke Academy show. Like, I want to see Luke Academy show with a young Ben, and I want to see Mara Jade. I want him to have some sort of relationship that can be destroyed over time so that we can make sense of The Last Jedi. I think it's the only thing that makes sense for the sequels. Like, he needs to have something he loses in order for his character to make sense in that story, for me personally. And if something were to happen to her, it could work for me, and I it sucks to bring a character in to, like, fridge them, obviously, and that's not like a good thing. So she could escape, have their secret child, maybe. I want to see Luke Academy show. I want Luke to be front and center.
I'm gonna say mine really quickly.
Yeah,
and
I'd
honestly,
love to hear it.
It's kind of split between 2. One would be a show, and it would be like Tales of the Sith, but live action.
That would be sick.
Kind of like how pretty much Acolyte, but not Acolyte.
You want to see like famous Sith, like stories of like famous Sith?
Just like basically like Palpatine's backstory, like
the Plagueis story,
like the book,
like that. Okay.
That being one episode, maybe like an hour-long episode.
Yeah.
And then like everything with Old Republic, if it was summed up good enough, like with Revan.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like Revan's story, or even like to like more like Dagon Gera from Survivor. And because then that way too, you could bring in Cal Kestis.
Yeah, sure.
If you wanted to go that route.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then the other one would be in a Clone Wars animation, even though Lucasfilm just closed that studio down.
Right.
It would be surrounded around the clones, but Rex's story from his point of view from everything.
Ooh, like a Rex
and
led show.
It being like dark and gritty, like how Andor was, but in Clone Wars animated, and of like Rex. His story after Order 66 when him and Ahsoka split.
Okay. I was about to ask if it was post Order 66, and I think that's the move.
Like
man.
like
that
when he goes and finds
cool.
Wolf. Yeah, like when he goes and finds Wolf and Gregor.
Yeah.
When he goes and finds them, and like what Rex is doing with Echo, and their batch of clones that are going around and doing these things.
Right. Like they're clearly there's something there, and we're not getting it. So yeah, that would be freaking awesome. That's a good pick, man. I like that a lot.
I'm so sad that they closed the animation studio though, so it's never gonna happen.
Well, I don't know, man. Supposedly that they're gonna, I don't know, do animation still somewhere, but not there. I don't know. So
I don't know.
We'll
give us Star Wars What If. Like honestly, just give us Star Wars What If
for sure. That'd be awesome. I'm all about it.
Shit, I was gonna say I have one last question real quick. I just thought of it real quick.
Yeah, go for it, man.
So, what are your final predictions? Like really quick, like if you could sum it up in 30 seconds, what are your final predictions for Ahsoka?
I think Ahsoka finds Thrawn, but he gets the best of her. I think Thrawn wins in the end. He's too smart. I think he's coming back to the core galaxy, and I think, like you said, and I really like the theory, is that she's going to have to ask Luke for help in the end because she can't defeat Thrawn on her own, regardless of what she thinks she's capable of.
I love that answer.
What do you got? What do you got?
Inquisitor being Ezra, a Kanan flashback, or I mentioned.
Yeah.
obviously the Luke theory, and I think Thrawn is going to be way more of a villain and way more scary. Like his in Rebels, he let them get away with stuff. I don't think he's going to let that happen anymore. I think now he's just going to go like turn it up to 11. Thrawn's not messing around.
Yeah.
And what he wants done is getting done, and no matter the cost of what has to happen.
I agree. Yep, he's gonna go all out, man. He's not losing this time. I don't think.
No,
I think
he's tired of losing.
Yeah,
because also too, he could look like a chump to the Chiss ascendancy too, because he's doing all this for the Chiss to begin with.
right. He's all about the Chiss.
So he's gonna have to redeem himself, and we're gonna see that in Ahsoka, I think.
That's right. That's what we're gonna see. You guys heard it here first. Final predictions.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, I think we should probably call it there. We've been, chatting for an hour. We got episode 1 and 2 on Tuesday night. I know you're doing a live stream, so everyone watching should definitely tune into that. I will be trying to tune in as well because I will not be live streaming. But yeah, we're going to have a bunch to discuss next week on episode 2 of Cantina Jargon. But subscribe to both our channels, Jar Jar Jargon and Cantina Talk. But that's all we got for today, guys. Thanks for watching.